Welcome back to the channel, guys. Very quickly, you see who is on the screen. Hold some discernment. I understand, and I am honestly riding on Emiru's side. Everything she's saying, I fully believe because I've seen inklings of these situations. Everyone has, because it was on stream, but we just didn't know. We didn't say anything. They didn't say anything, so we just kind of went off on our presumptions. But let her take the floor. This is quite a bit of a long watch, but we're not gonna watch all of it.
Today, I'm finally going to be opening up about the psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, sexual assault, and threats of blackmail that Mizkif has done towards me, and some of these issues which are still ongoing. For the entirety of this year, I have attempted to separate myself from him and not talk about him at all, and not talk about this issue, and just not make it a public thing. I always tried my best to keep this to myself, but like I said, I feel like it's gone to the point, which I'll explain later, that I feel like it just has to be done. And I have always believed in not condemning people or starting drama online. So I'm sure a lot of people are going to be asking, why am I doing this and why now? And I would like to explain that before I get started so that people understand what prompted me to do this today, and that it's not just on a whim or something like that. Okay, so like I said, I took a lot of notes, so forgive me if I just end up reading off my notes. The first and probably most severe reason is that one of the rules that I set for myself a long time ago about withholding this information was that if I ever felt like somebody else was in danger or being hurt, I would then make myself speak about it. And 2 weeks ago, actually 3 weeks ago.
Are you also getting like warm stomached and a little like pissed off? Like, if you were an actual man, this shit should piss you off. Like, I'm getting emotional, and you see how Asmon get like if me and Asmon had the ability to put on gloves and double team somebody, pause, we would do it. That's like that energy. It's like you should have this innate anger, justifiably, when a child or a female is getting hurt. I get it. I get it. Women 2025, they don't want to be protected. That should not stop your innate want to hurt someone in the sake of justice, to save them, because they can't help themselves. I have nieces, I have nephews, I have nieces. I love them. I would never want. Right. Do you see how that avenue I was just about to walk down? Any guy in my situation would just have to hold themselves, because it's like these are the reasons in which it leads people to justifiably, I say never justifiably, but go to jail. They end up going to jail because they hurt someone in terms of justice. I am not invoking violence. I'm not. I'm saying this is the energy that gets kind of formulated, right? And I say that's beautiful because it comes from justice. You hate injustice, and you should be feeling this, guys, and take that energy, right? Because don't blame this woman for finally coming out and telling her truth, because as you hear this, you're going to see the magnitude of how much of a psychopath this guy is. And she made me understand for the first time, because I've seen cases like this. Why would you stay? Why would you stay, right? I really got to understand it's the individual. Pure good people that deserve the best relationships, that would make the best person for another person, get fucked up by a piece of shit that sees it, grabs them, and ruins them. That's what they do. Not guy, girl, women do it too. I would even argue more women tend to do it because they have that power to manipulate. But here we're seeing when the dynamic shifts, when the guy has the power, he's going to do it. That should make you realize it's not all women. It's a people thing. It just leans on one side because opportunity's there. There you go.
Now, I was informed by 3 separate people, one of whom was present for said incident, that he had done something similar to something that he had done to me, and to someone in LA at the end of September. And this person is not a streamer or content creator, but obviously that does not matter. And because of this, I cannot in good conscience sit here knowing that I know critical information about someone that almost no one else does and not say anything. I think that most issues and dramas should stay private and off the internet, And I still hold that belief to this day, and I will hold that belief going forward. However, there are certain things that cross the line, and I say that the line has been crossed too many times to be count.
A lot.
There's a point where I believe that people deserve to know. I think that at a certain point, if you know a lot of things about someone and you don't say anything to look out for others, it's wrong. It's wrong to keep it to yourself. I don't want what happened to me or what has happened to other people because of him to happen to other people. And I don't believe he will ever stop behaving the way he does. But regardless, yeah, like I said, one of the main reasons I decided to do this stream is to come out about all of this because I can't hold on to it any longer because it feels wrong to do so.
You hear the broke bro, like I'm having trouble watching this right now. You hear her heart shattering, bro. It's kind of fucking annoying. And like not for her. It's like holy shit, bro.
And an honorable mention reason for why I'm doing this is that for a while he has been indirectly threatening me through my friends and people that I work with. They've informed me that he said that if I ever talked about anything he did, he would try to create a smear campaign against me in retaliation. I was told that he even approached other streamers who were close with us back when we lived together, asking them if they would join with him, and they all refused. At TwitchCon, he approached one of my employees, threatening them and saying if I ever talked about him, he would destroy me.
Yep.
Multiple people have told me that his plan was to claim that I kill animals and that I killed my own rabbits, since I had several of my rabbits pass away over the course of 3 years while I lived with him.
Rabbits are stupid. They die pretty easily and they do dumb things. This guy's an asshole, bro. I can't wait to take the floor. I just wanted to speak, man. Holy crap. What a piece of shit.
I'm sure he's probably listening now, and it's probably going to come as quite a shock to him that this information made its way back to me and that I've known for months. But if you try to threaten me to stay quiet, especially using my poor dead animals,
snitch.
I'm not going to stay quiet.
Snitch.
It's nuts.
Okay.
Disney Reese as Randall Miss Finster
So now that I've
snitch
explained all the reasons why this took so long and why I made the decision to do this stream, I have a few more things I would like to get out of the way before I start talking about all of this.
It's not about me.
The way that I'm going to do this today is I'm going to run through everything from the beginning to the end to try to get across the story as accurately and fully as I can. And, hold on. Hold on.
Wrong one.
I'm also
going
to be showing a few screenshots validating what I'm saying.
Right.
I have more things, but this is what I felt comfortable using today. And I will be running through those later.
Receipts, of course.
Another thing that I'd like to mention before I start is that during my statement, I'm going to be mentioning directly the names of about half a dozen other creators who were present for certain things. And I want to say that none of these people did anything wrong. I'm just saying that they were there, and I've asked all of them.
If they're a part of the story, they're a part of the story. You're going to have to mention them for us to get proper context, right? Oh, he went to, not going to say this person, not going to say where, and not going to, like, you get what I mean? You got to fill in the blanks, honey. Do your thing, man.
Permission. They all said that it was fine to include their names, but I know this won't stop everyone, but I ask people, for the streamers that I mentioned, please don't go bothering them or asking them for more information. If there's something else that they want to say, they'll say it themselves, so there's no point to go pester them and bother them about it. There are also streamers who gave me permission to share things that they relayed to me privately, but asked me to redact their names, which I, of course, did. And the last thing that I want to make clear is that not every person that I interact with or that I'm friends with knew the extent of all of these things. And in fact, most of them didn't. And some of them didn't even know anything at all. I tried to keep things private with my close friends. But if anyone during the past year ever approached me asking questions.
I know this is going to maybe fall on deaf ears, and I'm not trying to force you, but ladies, tell. get away from the person, go to the police, before that, find someone that you can go to and stay at that you trust for however long, so you can stay away from this person, so they can get arrested, they could go to jail, that you could do the training, all that good stuff. Plan it out and tell. I know, I get it. Emotions, they're manipulating you. They're saying give you another chance. No right-minded person, I'll say it again, no right-minded person is going to hurt their other person in any way. If they genuinely like you, they love you, they're not going to want you to cry. They're not going to say something for the sake of hurting you. They're most and certainly not going to physically hurt you. That one, ladies, there is negative 10,000 reason to justify that. The moment that happens, there's no going back. It is impossible. It is so eons beyond impossible that person is for saving. Jesus can save them. Jesus can save them. You can't. Get the fuck out. Sorry for taking this minute, because I really want to push that through, because there's a message behind this. Tell. Like Disney Recess Random. Miss Finch. Tell. Please.
I didn't lie and I told them the truth. But, yeah, I don't want there to be some kind of witch hunt like, oh, you knew and this. No, a lot of people, didn't know everything or didn't know anything. Okay. I think that's,
I'll talk about my...
all that I have to get out of the way.
In the context of, like, things that she says after, but not right now.
So, this is public information.
Yeah, what's up, bro? Привет.
I initially moved in.
That looks like some Russian.
Sorry. I'm still sick, like I said.
Привет. Хорошо, brother. Хорошо.
Okay. This is all public, obviously this part. I moved in with him. I believe it was the end of 2021, because he offered. I was living alone at the time, and I was having
I assume that's Russian. I don't know if it's the same.
And I mean, you guys know, like, all the stuff that
letters
happened there.
is Ukrainian or whatnot.
I ended up joining
I don't speak as
the
much
org and
Ukrainian.
everything.
We
did a lot of streams together. And I mean, a lot of people already know this, but I'm just gonna come out and say it. We started dating. We were in a relationship starting January 2022.
Speak.
After I joined OTK.
This relationship was, I just have to say this because this is where I'm not Asmon. I don't know this girl, but I was optically watching this. The moment they started going out, I thought it was the weirdest shit ever, guys. It's like from the jump, as soon as they got on camera, I don't know at any point where this girl actually liked this guy. It looked like someone that, I'm not joking to you guys. Almost every fucking stream, it looked like blink twice. Just blink twice if something's wrong. I'm not joking to you guys. I don't know them. I don't even fuck with OTK, or I think I love Asmon, and some people there, I wouldn't mind watching, but the overall consensus of Twitch, like, left this progressive, like, weirdo type of shit, right? I don't jive with that. But when I watched this, I'm not joking to you guys, it looked like she was being forced. She deals with something off camera, and when it's on camera, she can't hide it on her face. Go look back at those streams. I thought that they were shipping just for content. That's how much it was. If it wasn't for the fact that they were using dating terms, I would have thought it was shipping for content, guys. Holy smokes, bro.
I'm
that
not
for
planning
me
to
is
go
why I
into too
believe
much
her.
detail about the start of the
That one
relationship,
thing.
because it honestly doesn't really matter at this point. It's irrelevant now. The only things that really matter that you guys need to know for the story are that it was, one, an extremely private relationship.
Mm-hmm.
It was even hidden from friends and people in
she
the
didn't
org,
tell
but
us.
I mean,
Yep.
obviously people all eventually
Yeah.
figured
Believe
out
that.
they're not fucking stupid.
Mm.
And second, it was an extremely codependent relationship, which it's not the issue, but that's just, making that clear for details. He initially portrayed himself to me as someone who was very nice to girls and wanted to help me feel safe
they
from
always
stalkers, and wanted me to succeed as a teammate. And we grew very close over time, and I was very dependent on him for feelings of safety, social life, like my stream.
Ladies, if you're with a man, they're supposed to protect you. It doesn't have to be a specific guy. Don't just fall for the safety. Definitely watch out for these other stuff that, you know, should have been in the relationship but was not. And then the stuff that should not be in the relationship should not be in, like hitting you.
My job, everything. So yeah, besides it being a very codependent relationship, the start of it was fine. I saw a lot of people mentioning this. They thought this was what I was going to talk about. It's not a secret. I think everyone who paid attention knew that he was very controlling over what I wore, to a degree, who I was friends with, and even when I would stream.
Yep.
So when it was definitely slow over time that bad things started happening. At the start, it would be things like, for example, he would throw bottles, like plastic bottles with liquid in it, not like glass bottles, at me, despite me telling him like I didn't like it and it scared me and I bruise very easily. He would throw his phone at—
Did she say glass bottle? She didn't say glass bottle. I'm on my phone. I must have heard plastic. Let's just assume I heard plastic.
At me. I would tell him, you know, it scared me, I don't like it. And one time it even hit me in the eye, which caused me to get a black eye, but he always, you know, was like, oh, it's an accident. And I was like, oh yeah, it's an accident.
Holy
like, you know, of course I'm not gonna think that, you know,
guys, I'm almost tearing up, like in like anger.
Yeah,
I don't
just,
like this shit.
This is the beginning, by the way.
This is the beginning.
At the time, I just kind
Holy
of,
fuck.
you know, I just brushed it off. And looking back now, I feel like that was kind of the start of him testing my boundaries, if that makes sense.
That's exactly what it is.
So
That's what narcissists do. That's exactly what it is. They test your boundaries. They see what they can get away with, and whatever you give them, you're fucked. They're taking it. They're taking it. They're gonna freaking cross DNA, splice it up, and then create a fucking Frankenstein of a plan to keep you within. It is nothing short of evil. When I talk about these individuals and I understand redemption is possible, in that moment they have such a demon in them. They don't see good. They're on a path of evil. Evil people exist. And when you watch this guy, you can see it in his eyes, those crystal eyes, no homo. You think, oh, light eyes, genuine. You see the emptiness. The soul is from the eyes, guys. When you focus on someone's eyes, you don't need nothing else. No word is going to be able to trick you because you can't hide your feelings from this. See this? I'm fucking pissed. I don't know this girl, but she's a female that was hurt. I'm pissed. See it through my eyes? You see them through my eyes, right? I have no lie. I have conviction for the situation. Watch for those. I'm gonna have to keep jumping in, ladies, because we're hearing Emmy's story. We're trying to stop other Emmy stories. It's a two-way street, okay? So anyone saying, "Oh, why are you pausing it?" I'm trying to push a point through. All right.
Was already kind of starting to show signs within the first 6 months of me and him being close, and then again, a very public situation. The end of 2022, the cover-up allegations happened. I mean, yeah, like I said, all that's public. You can find all that, see like what I said during that, everything. After that happened, his behavior started getting a lot worse, which, I mean, I suppose it makes sense. You know, he was very stressed. A lot of stuff was happening, but the bad behavior was ramping up, and I feel like it's so apparent. If like, you know, you go back and watch anything from that time. I tried so hard to help him and be there for him because I really believed in him, and I wanted him to, you know, get better and get back on his feet and be the person that, you know, I always believed that he was. But that, unfortunately, did not really happen. For a long time, I think about a year and a half from when that all happened, it was kind of like slow things getting worse. But I mean, honestly, I'm not even gonna bother going into the details of all of that because there's just too much to cover, and it's honestly kind of not really relevant to the rest of what I'm saying because the rest of what I want to say is a lot worse.
It's a 24-hour stream.
There was a point where things really took a turn for the worst. Like, it felt like, you know, like a very delicate branch just kind of snapped. So, and again, a lot of people are like vaguely aware of this, but I'll explain it for people who aren't, you know, chronically tapped into all that stuff. So for a long time,
this is after Maya.
After
Maya.
the like cover-up allegations happened, and he was like starting to kind of struggle on his stream.
Yeah.
He never wanted to stream at the same time as me. Like, we really avoided it. And to me at the time, it made sense because, you know, I was like, well, of course, like, you know, we share a lot of community members. If we're live at separate times, we're both going to perform better. You know, it makes sense. But, yeah, we were never really live doing the same thing at the same time for a long time, with the exception of, like, things like events or sponsors or, like, you know, just special things. For a very long time, and a lot of you guys probably noticed that I would only usually stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. That was because of him. And now I stream whenever I want, but the first time that we ever streamed at the same time was for the 2024 Rust Kingdoms event on Twitch.
Jesus Christ.
We were sharing drops.
This is so ridiculous.
It was the first time in a very long time that we were both going to be live at the same time, doing the same thing.
People even saw this.
Probably like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? But it'll make sense in a bit. So I'm live.
Sharing drops. Drops for the Rust event.
Streaming, and like I said, you can go find all of this. This is public.
It's
there
online.
are clips of this. We're both streaming the Rust event, and I thought it was going really well. I thought everyone was having fun. I was like, oh, this is great. Everyone's, you know, doing the same thing at the same time. We're all hanging out. You know, we're gonna have fun. Like, I was really, really excited. And then I start seeing in my chat people start saying unofficial Miz raid, and I'm like, what does that mean? And then I check my Discord messages, and he's messaging me. He's saying, like, Emmy, you know, I'm gonna kill myself. I waited, or I'm gonna KMS. I waited so long for this, etc. Basically, he was upset because I had higher viewership than him. That's literally it. I had higher viewership than him. And like I said, this is during an event, so there were drops. Like, everyone knows when there's drops, like, it's not even fucking real, but yeah. He starts messaging me, he's really upset. I tried to tell him, I was like, bro, you should come back and play. Everyone's having fun. Everyone's like wondering where you are. But yeah, he ended his stream. And then I'm still live, you know, trying to act like nothing's wrong. And in that house,
messaging her while she's live,
so I could like see this was happening. He was walking behind me, making sure that I knew he was there. And by the way, so there were many ways out of that house if he wanted to leave the house that were closer to his stream room. He intentionally chose the door that was right by my room.
It's actually the most inconvenient door of all the doors that he could have left.
Apparent, at least to me. He starts walking behind my stream and slamming the door so loud that my noise gate can pick it up. So even people on my stream are able to hear this is happening. And he slams it so hard and so many times that the front door literally broke. The lock did not work anymore. It didn't work for months, and it would just make this horrible sound that I would have to hear like every fucking day. But anyway, so I hear him back there doing this, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
There's clips of this.
So I tell my stream, I'm like, hey, guys, I'll be right back. I get up and I go talk to him, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, Emmy, like, I hate all of you guys. Like, all you guys do is just take from me, and like, I'm just done. Like, I'm just done. And I was like, is this like really happening?
I should have paused it, but yeah, I had to say goodbye to my niece and nephew. But at least if you guys heard, I wasn't just playing the video blankly, kind of ish. I had to do something. But take it away, Emmy.
Because of Rush drops, and
I have watched like essentially the whole thing, right? So it's like not like I'm missing out on it.
He was like, I don't know what else to do. He was like going off on me, like basically saying that he hated me. And I was like, well, I don't know what to do now. And he was like, go finish your stream so that people don't know anything's wrong.
Wait until you get to the World of Warcraft shit. It gets so deep into petty. Like, this guy is a little bitch. Like, fragility, we would have to reinvent the word. We would have to like put GMOs in this motherfucker and grow it to such a big astronomical word that it will fit the bill for this case. Because fragility is just not cutting it. Not cutting it.
That's what matters.
I stop in the bathroom outside.
The ad-libs. I need him here. I need him here.
Checking my makeup, trying to make sure people can't tell that I was like crying. And I'm only in there for like 30 seconds, and he comes and like looms in the doorway. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm just checking my makeup. So I go back and I stream for a couple hours, finish the stream, do my best to just like, you know, carry on the show basically. And yeah, after that, like I said, was when things started to get really fucking bad. It was like something just snapped. For the rest of the week, he streamed the Rust event. He got all the drop viewers.
She didn't stream at all.
He was very happy. I mean, good for him.
Wow.
And during that time, I obviously was like thinking and processing a lot of what happened. But I mean, it was a lot because this person was at the time like kind of it was like my partner and my best friend, and like the only person that like I really talked to ever, or like at least off stream. So I mean, it was a lot. But the very next stream, I went live about a week after that, and I announced that I was planning to move because I knew that I would have to move.
Yep.
So I was like, okay, I have to go live and say this so that, you know, kind of force myself to commit to it, right? Does that make sense? Obviously, I didn't move out right away, but after like all of that Rust stuff happened was when the other domestic abuse stuff really started. He would destroy furniture in front of me. He would throw things in front of me and near me. Destroy walls. Again, you can go see this in some of his VODs in his bedroom, the holes in the wall. There would be times where he was upset at me, and I would go to my stream room and literally lock myself in to get away from him, and he would be banging on the door and screaming at me. And at the time, he also would more often do things like going, like if we were driving in the car together, he would be going like
super fast,
150 miles an hour, and like
I freaking hate people like that. If I get in the car with you and you try pulling some stunt shit like that, and God willing I survive, I'm never getting into the car with you. I damn near may beat you up. You are literally saying my life, at the very least, you are saying my life is worth as much as yours is. And yes, in terms of like everyone human is equal, yes, but when you put my life in danger equal to your life ain't shit to mine. It's nothing. It is so finite. It is like a molecule. Don't test with people's lives. This guy's a piece of fuck, bro. This guy's a psychopath. He's literally a psychopath. When you say narcissism, women say, "Oh, but everyone, but not all guys are narcissists." They just always say no. She unfortunately found one.
One time he even said like, "Well, now we're both gonna die."
Oh
like
my
threatening to
fucking
kill both
gosh.
of us. And this wasn't like even necessarily because of me or like because of something I did a lot of the time. Like one of the times that it happened, it was because we were just getting food and he was on his phone and he saw that Mr. Beast had put out a video and Mr. Beast had invited another streamer and he was like, "Oh, Mr. Beast invited this guy to his video, not me." And I was like, "Oh, well, you know, like, huh, yeah, I guess so." Which led to him
almost killing them.
miles per hour in the car.
Almost killing them.
Killing himself while doing it.
Over a Mr. Beast video.
Then at home, other things would happen. Like I'd be trying to sleep and he would scream at me and say that it was all my fault that he felt insecure. There was a time.
How could you blame your own insecurities on someone else? It is quite literally the first word in the word is in. Insecurity. I'm not. Just go. Take it away. Take it away. I'm not. I can't. I don't want to do it.
I walked into a room.
I don't want to do it.
In,
it's too stupid.
And as soon as he saw me there, he threw his phone at the dresser and started yelling because I had posted a YouTube video within the same couple of days as him, and mine was doing better. So basically, I felt like I was kind of stuck.
It's
so
sad,
I felt like
bro.
I had to constantly
it's so sad.
And like prove
it's so
my
sad.
value to not be thrown away. But at the same time, if I ever performed too well, I was gonna be punished for it.
Yeah.
And it just felt like a very rough situation to be stuck in because, I mean, streaming is my hobby and my job. Like, it's a huge part of my life.
All of our friends are attached to it too.
You know, I met him and became like a larger creator. And I remember thinking all the time how it felt like he hated me, but he still wanted me around for his channel and like his thumbnails and everything.
Yeah.
And this is still before I moved out.
How could you be so insecure to override in your head the obvious objectiveness that women will do better on streams? Like, he sat there and got mad at the inevitability that if she went on stream long enough, especially if you gave her an audience, your male audience, she would dominate. Now, I'm not saying use or abuse or anything, but if he looked at it in terms of a relationship and helped her monetize so they could build this empire together, said, let's say if they were to get married, you would want her to be as big of a streamer as possible, because if you truly are together, that would only benefit you too in the reverse. But when you're such a little shit, you're so insecure, your brain wouldn't even get 1% of that. All you're thinking is myself, it needs me. I ain't trying to throw anyone else under the bus here, but it was a lack there of teaching. This kid, if we're gonna give Mizkif any grace, his parents fucked up on teaching him, bro. And I know, oh, how can you blame? Yes, you blame the parents. In some means, way, or fashion, your upcoming and the traumas you carry usually have to do with your past. Who you were around more or a lot in the past, your parents. I'm not saying bad or good. They raise you however they can. I assume he just was not raised. His parents, he probably got money, they're doctors or some shit. They never showed up, and he grew up on watching TV, watching things or whatever. And he, as a child, he formulated his being within himself for himself, I'm assuming, and did not have any exteriors as much as possible, like his parents, to imbue their teachings into him. So he literally is like a self-made child that grew up. I'm not no psychotherapist, but I feel like that's the correlate that kind of works your way into how someone becomes a narcissist. Unfortunately, they got to learn from themselves. And if you learn from yourself, what are you learning from? Who's questioning you? That is quite literally an echo chamber, right? So he just does not know how to deal with emotions, right? And what's even sadder his outrages, his outlashes are because he was never understood. He would probably try to get someone to understand him, but they wouldn't understand him. They probably would have made him feel bad for being for giving out his emotions or showing his emotions. So therefore he grew up and internalized that, and then he starts doing it to other people. End of the day, hurt people. If we're gonna give him some grace, his childhood was fucked up, and he decided to invoke that on someone else. That's when you lose me. I can hold grace and say yes. It sucks if that happened. It probably did happen. You don't get the right to fuck up someone else's life. You don't. You don't. That's when you lose me. Even with me giving you that grace, which is even worse, because after grace, I say fuck you still. Well, now what do we have? There's no redemption. This guy is a piece of shit. He needs to work on himself. Oh man, you see the beginning of his video. I'm not messing with any of these individuals. Nigga, they're not messing with you, stupid. They did it first. The fuck? What a dumb cop out. It makes you look even more like a liar. Oh, you're disconnected, nigga. They fucking exiled you. What are you talking about, my guy?
There was a time where it was the tension in the house was so unbearable that I would sneak out and I would sneak into Esfan's house using my code, and Esfan didn't know why I was doing this. He saw me a couple times. I'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna go take a nap.
Damn it, the game dollars. You're a real one for that.
Your guest would be like, yeah, that's fine. I would sneak into Esfan's house just to have some time of like peace and quiet. But eventually, he figured out where I was going, and he would go over to Esfan's house to keep telling me off.
No escape.
And there was a time that he did it, and I was laying in the guest room bed, and one of the roommates in that house had come to see like why I was crying, and they were standing in the corner, and he came in, and he was very physically aggressive. He was like, Emmy, like, what are you doing? Like, angry. And then as soon as he turned and saw this other person
is really
standing
serious,
there, he instantly like deflated and changed his tone. He was like, oh, Emmy, I was wondering where you were. Like, are you coming home? And that roommate like later asked me about it. They were like, what the fuck was that? Like, are you okay? And I was just like, oh, it's nothing, because
unfortunately
I felt like
happened a lot
of the reason that I didn't tell the people around me was because I felt like no one would understand, or even if they understood, it would just be a burden to them, because all of our streams and social circles and communities are so intertwined. I was like, maybe it's just better for me to deal with this and like hope things get better, basically.
Yep.
I honestly don't even remember what the final straw was that I finally was like, okay, it's time to go. Like,
I just read. Holy smokes.
The house that I lived in before this one, like, pretty much immediately after the like breaking the front door thing happened, but I was still like scared and
oh, so she already said that. Bro, did you guys hear that part? Like how much of a child, you know, when kids throw little temper tantrums and they slam the door, or they go on the floor and they just beat the floor and thing and they start crying and shit. When she said that, I was like, I could have been there. I could have been there and just assumed what was happening. Like, she's just on stream, just like this, right? She's just on stream. And then let me see if you guys can see with the chair. This is what this guy was doing. On stream, she's in the chair. Okay, so this is the chair. This is in the chair. My chair. This guy's probably doing something like this. Wherever the door is, it's walking, going behind her, it's going like that. Slapping, 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 slapping. Like a fucking child. Like, I just, bro, I can't even do that, because children, at least the children that like my niece and nephews, they've never done that. They would never even think to do that. So it's like, bro, you're worse than kids. You're worse than kids, bro. And it goes to show, I'm telling you, I'm not caping for this guy. He has some childhood trauma. And I'm only saying it because if I don't grant that, then I have to assume he's literally psychotic. He should be jailed. It's like, if we don't grant him that, he is a demon. So I have to grant him, so I could just tether him to some form of just human, right? Am I tripping? Am I crazy right now hearing this shit? You will never see me as heated as you're going to see me, even in situations that I'm heated about the way I'm heated right now, guys. I look calm because I have to stay calm. I have to like not fully engage. You saw me before I was tearing up. I was getting pissed.
Sure.
That's why I'm kind of on my phone.
So I don't remember what the final straw was, but I remember. I remember the day I took Cheddar to the house.
Cheddar.
Because he just randomly started like screaming at Cheddar. He was like, "Get that fucking cat out of my house." So I just
animals.
Mad at YouTube views, mad at Mr. Beast, mad at the cat.
Box and took him there, and I just left him there, and never took him back to that house.
Hey yo, fuck Cheddar. All my homies hate Cheddar.
Days after that was when I finally moved out.
Who yells at a cat?
Short notice.
Do you see why I needed Asmon here with me? Who yells at a cat, bro? Like, I like dogs more, and cats honestly have just done the worst to me in the past, to the point where I kind of hated them for a bit, but I went back to loving them because they're just so gosh darn cute. How do you hate a cat? How do you look at that perfect looking face that just looks so symmetrically freaking perfect and hate it? You have to be just the most apparent evil of all evils to hate it. Like if our bodies were like if this was JoJo's Adventures and he had a stan, it would be Lucifer.
Like I said, I don't even remember what the final straw was because so many things happened.
This guy got the one.
There was a time when I just knew. I called some movers. I said, "Hey, can you come tomorrow?" And they were like, "Yeah." And then I literally moved the next day.
Good.
Moving out into the last house that I lived in was a huge step mentally because, like I said, a big part of why I moved into the first house in Texas in the first place was because I felt like it was the safest option for me because
the stalkers.
You know, I am
a
girl where it's like kind of scary for me to be living alone. So it was very hard, and at the time, even though like all these other things had already happened, I was very hopeful that me and him could be cordial and like eventually like things would be fine, at least publicly, like for stream reasons, that, you know, everyone could just keep streaming like nothing had happened. And, you know, at the time I thought that would be the best thing to do, and I felt like
you put your best foot forward, people step on it.
Separated myself from him without explaining anything. People that watched us wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
And would attack me. I was
That's how it is.
Yeah, I mean, it ended up happening anyway. So, but yeah. After I moved out, we, like I said, still kept in contact. I had hope that somehow things would get better. He would always beg for me to come back, and he would promise therapy and change and like even talk to other people and like kind of present like, oh, I want to.
Things are gonna get better this time.
I want to be better for Emmy or
this
whatever,
time for sure.
There was a short period in October.
You know what he's doing. It's good.
Where
this is last year.
We had broken up because, I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter now. And when that happened, I honestly felt relieved because I was like, okay, finally, it's like on his terms. So that means he'll be satisfied and he'll be able to say it was his choice, and he'll leave me alone. Because whenever I would try to push for it, it just felt like I couldn't like really sever it, if that makes sense. But I mean, obviously, hence me doing this stream, that was not the end of it. A week after this breakup, he asked to come over to my house and talk for closure. He came to my house, and I was crying like crazy because the emotions were just very high, because I was dealing with a lot of major shifts in my life as a result of me attempting to start to try to distance myself from him. He So yeah, we were just talking and I was crying a lot. He started to try to comfort me by hugging me while I was sitting on the couch and holding me really close to him. And when this was happening, we hadn't talked in quite a while, and I'm usually very uncomfortable with being touched a lot by people that I'm not in a relationship with. But I let him hold me while I was crying. And he started kissing me in my face, and I let him do it. I was still sobbing a lot.
All right. Okay. What the fuck, bro? Like, look at Asmon's face. I wasn't even looking. It's just like that. That right there. Like, I don't even, I'm sorry that I'm lost for words. It's just because if he was trying to work his way to like devil status, he hit it. And for some reason, he's trying to overachieve beyond the quite literally the pinnacle of evil. He is trying to rival the devil. He is trying to be worse than someone that took a third of God's angels and casted them down to earth. And he's damn near doing a pretty fucking good job. I'm telling you, if he had a stand, I think we all know who his stand is. I think we all know who his stand is. What the she's about to go in. You know where this is starting. You know where this is going. And I just want to say something here. If this is true, this piece of shit in her lowest moment that he caused, the lowest moment that he fucking caused, he goes in and then tries to get some action off of that. Now, I know people just will hear it as you hear about what my brain says is this nigga orchestrated a plan to break her down so he can get with her. I wish I had that. Can't get it on my stream. Like, I don't know if someone knows how to fix that shit, bro. Help me out. I would have. I'll do it myself. Demon incarnate. Jokes aside, he can't get that because obviously he's human. But it's like, bro, demon incarnate. This is insane. This is whatever it is that brought him to the point where he was at. He double, triple, quadruple, 10 times down on it, and he just learned to sharpen his evil blade. This is like Gore the God Butcher or some shit.
And then, suddenly, he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants. And, I screamed. Yeah. And when I screamed, he jumped off me like a cat, like. And instead of apologizing or checking if I was okay, he said, "I feel weird now. I feel like I did something wrong. I have to go." And he immediately left my house while I was still crying, without checking if I was okay or anything. And at the time,
such a fucking dick.
I was still making excuses for him, and I was still afraid of causing trouble for other streamers around us, or like, you know, making things weird for viewers. I know that probably sounds crazy, but like I just felt this pressure, like I had
this is making me feel weird.
Try to keep things together. If
Ain't
that
that
makes
right?
sense.
Accommodating a psycho.
Yeah, I felt like I'd caused trouble for so many other people if I ever said anything bad about him, or if I caused rifts in our friend group or streamer group. I tried to stay on good terms with him and hold everything in, and also I still cared about him a lot, and I still at that point had hope that things would get better, and that, you know, he would improve. And he'd also always hammer into me.
Have you guys known somebody that this has happened to before?
He never physically abused me because he never hit me, and he would coach me and tell me to tell people.
Yes, I have. I do know. Unfortunately, fortunately, I didn't know the individual, but yes, there's been many instances. I know a lot of women. I met a lot of women. You're gonna hear a lot of stories. These people exist. That's why you have to be more understanding towards like women when they are saying these things. It's just logically nobody who is getting physically hurt wants to stay around that. There's definitely something going on there, whether the person's controlling them or they just genuinely are just being emotionally manipulated to the point where it is just hard for them to leave. For many years, I took hard stances. I'm a hard stance guy. It's how I was brought up. No beating around the bush bullshit. So sometimes I do sound lack there of emotion. I'm growing, right? I'm getting older. We're getting more mature. You want to get to the level where you unequivocally, I can't even say the word. This is bad. This is bad. This is bad. There's no justifying this. Even with a little inkling of justification, not even justification, even what I granted him in terms of that grace, that's just for context so we could understand how someone could be this evil. Right? We're trying to attach him to humanity still because he's one short of just not being human. There's like, which human, think about it, any person you met that you love, that is, even that they have wronged you, was it ever to this degree? This lack there of care of somebody's being, their selves, their emotions, their body, just like everything, bro. That last story right there, bro, I want to fucking slap this nigga in his face, bro. Slap him, bro. Give me some gloves. Give me some gloves. Off camera, no clout, nothing. Boxing ring, me and him. So down. Kickboxing, sorry, I don't box. Kickboxing. Just I'll even add like a little bit of a crutch, right? Because maybe he doesn't do martial arts, you know. I haven't been in a dojo. I'm self-trained, but I'll only hit or strike 5 times. Whether punch or kick, I'm only allowed to make 5 attempts at him. That's it. I promise you on the first one, I'm gonna knock him the fuck out.
Or other streamers who are asking about it because they were concerned. He would say, tell them that I never hit you. Make sure that they know that I never hit you.
Very normal thing to coach somebody to say.
Around the same time.
Well, actually, it is normal for a psychopath. That's right on par.
Too, so
it's right on par for an abuser.
December.
Makes perfect sense.
He would often message me in the middle of my streams and berate me for things like playing the same class as him in WoW because he thought it would make people think that I was better than him.
So
and again, like I said earlier, I felt like I was stuck in a constant loop where I had to perform well to not be thrown away.
Yeah.
But if I performed too well, I was going to be punished. And
I'll be very quick. I understand the sentiment, but that's usually with your guy friends. When you're playing a game together, there is that little immature shit where, like, you know, in MMOs, if I'm the assassin, go be another class because it's just gonna irks me internally a little bit if you just, I don't know, you get that drop that I've been trying to get 1,000 times over and I didn't get it and you got it, and it's like I just never get it kind of thing. It'll peeve people, you know. Let's just be honest, it's a gamer thing, especially when you were younger. You know, you're always checking in on your buddy, will level you, hey, stop leveling so quick. Me and my buddies always had that. Me and my guy friends, I wouldn't do that with my girlfriend. Would not do that with my girlfriend. Bro, I even remember way back elementary times and stuff. You know, these MMOs, you have your girlfriends and stuff. I was dating someone on the game. I did nothing but build up her character, help her, develop her, and shit like that. And she helped me out too, right? I was good at the game, so I didn't say, yo, don't become strong and stuff. I tried to make her train. She didn't want to. In this game, you either chill out like a community and you talk, or you train. She wanted to do the former. That was fine. That was absolutely fine. But I'm just trying to think in what world I'd be like, yo, why are you leveling? Yo, why the fuck are you leveling, bro? You're supposed to stay at level 50. Not even kids do this. At the end of this, and maybe on video too, or if you watch his response, I'm gonna have to sit back and just try to figure what we can call this guy. Like, what title could we give this dude? Because I'm lost for words. There's no word to describe this behavior at this point in time. No word. Evil's not enough.
I actually wanted to show some of those messages. Because obviously a lot of these things.
So stupid.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fully read these out.
This was only thanks to.
Because.
The second one,
I honestly just don't want to read them out, but I feel like I want to show them to, like, kind of show what I'm saying.
Show the one where you're saying the N-word with his friend. You have that one? Pepperidge Farm remembers that one. Right, buddy? Right.
Emmy is better. Emmy this. I can't have anything, Emmy.
Post the VOD of this somewhere.
Okay.
So
Oh my gosh.
No.
Is that my screen or okay. Mizkif. When was this? 2024, bro. This was literally a year ago. This was literally almost a year ago. This is fresh. Not from the podcast. Mizkif. M is better. M this. I can't have anything. Emmy, you just take. I'm gonna try to just stop calling you out your name because there's just no point at this point. But it's just you just make it so easy to want someone to call you out your name. You just make it so easy. Everything I read about this guy, I just want to cuss him out. It's crazy, Emiru. I don't understand what you. I've never felt a message so much more in a while. Because the whole time I'm here thinking, what the frick does he want this girl to do? You want her to exist, not exist? Do you want, like, what do you want? It's to the point, you know the meme, like, what do you want? What do you want in the Notebook? But it was a chick. The whole joke was women don't know what they want. This guy's a bitch. And I only had to call him out his name just to relate to that whole reference I just brought up. Carrying on, Mizkif. Not Tank. Just that simple. Not Tank. Just that simple. Yo, imagine you being such a little bitch that you want to protect a class that respectfully, sorry, Tanks, is a bitch class. Any class that is not the attacker class, you're the bitch of the group. Bro, when I play Overwatch, any of these games, MMOs, whatever it is, you'll let me main a support class. Let the day come when I main a support class. Let me make my reason why I jumped on this game to have fun is to support other people. I say that to say, in general, people usually don't get mad when someone wants to be the tank. They get ecstatic when there's someone wants to be a tank, because then you don't have to do it. No one wants to be Reinhardt, but everyone wants Reinhardt on their party. You get what I'm saying? This guy is a loser. Carrying on. Emiru, what the fuck does that mean? I'll keep going. Mizkif, you already played Warrior when I told you we're going to get compared. Don't pull. I'm gonna pull aggro because I'm a warrior. No, you're not. Another warrior can tank. These are real. These are fucking real, bro. They're real. These are real. Wow, this
You
is
just take,
You wanna read
not
this later?
tank. Just that simple.
That's fine. I
You've
guess.
already played Warrior when I told you.
And again, this was
Now I'm
all
gonna get
happening while I
compared
was live.
non-stop.
You can literally.
Okay, we gotta go over it, guys. Emiru, I didn't have another warrior in any of my groups today. I know warriors wanted to try. I'm gonna shank myself with this toothpick. Literally, I just said that. Didn't I not just say that the problem with tanks are no one wants to be the tank. No one jumps for joy to be the tank. You have to be ever so blessed if you have someone that genuinely wants to be the tank. That was Emiru. She blessed her party that she was with. And this dude that has nothing to do with the party, the raid, or just the in that moment, the game that they are playing, doesn't want her to be the one class that team needs to succeed so his fragility could be saved. Like, we really have to break down the levels of bitch made that is. He's reinventing and recreating levels of bitch. And at this point, it's a little astonishing. Like, I'm looking at it now in this weird way where, like, bro, this is almost artistic levels of bitch made. I damn near may have to, like, this sounds weird, but it's like I'm gonna have to, like, give him a round of applause, you know, because, like, even if it's at the end of a bad spectrum, for someone to be able to get to this degree, man, holy shit, bro. It's like, how do I dodge make it a compliment with saying, like, this is an achievement? This at the very least, whether good or bad, this is an achievement. He's achieving new heights, or new lows, better I should say, new lows.
Go find the stream and see me trying to deal with this.
Don't tank.
While I'm
There it
live in
is.
the middle of a dungeon.
Don't dude
Trying
me.
to just play the fucking game.
This is about World of Warcraft.
Fuck, bro.
Let me handle all the hate.
Oh fuck, I think I...
You just have fun.
Just have fun. Just have fun. Don't do what you want to do, but have fun. Okay? Just don't do what the fuck you want to do. That is literally the ideal of fun. But just have fun. Got it?
Such a serious situation. I feel like an asshole laughing, but this is so fucking ridiculous. It's insane, isn't it?
Brother, I'm with you, man.
Oh my god.
Tank Emmy, do it. Let me handle all the hate,
That takes the
criticism.
words out of
you're worse than Emmys. The Emmy is so much
people's
better.
mouths.
The people saying you're better in every chat. The comparison says nobody will ever be on my side.
He says there's no boundaries with you.
I asked you not to become a tank. You didn't listen. And now it's the classic, what was I supposed to do? I'm not dealing with this. And like I said, you can go find the stream.
That's what he said.
But for context, I was playing Warrior in World of Warcraft in like a level 24 dungeon. It was like Silverpine. Like, it was just like, it wasn't even like...
You can't just tank SFK. You can't just tank SFK. You can't just do that.
So, yeah. Yeah, yeah, you can,
just pause it, read all that shit
later,
yourself.
I suppose,
yeah.
If, yeah, like I said before, hold on. I was constantly trying so hard to compromise with him because I wanted to be cool and I wanted us to be able to coexist in the same streaming sphere. But I felt like I could never win, and he hated my whole existence. Like, ever since that one stream where I had like a little bit more viewers than him.
A little bit.
And he would say that it was my fault that his stream was dying because most of his viewers liked me, and whenever he hit on another girl, they would be confused or not take it seriously because they knew that me and him were together privately. And he said if he would be able to hit on other girls and convince them that it was real, he would get his career back. That was like, started within the last couple of weeks that we spoke to each other. He started saying terrible things to me about other streamers in Austin. In particular, one specific streamer who, I know there's a lot of people that know he has beef with certain streamers. It was not one of those streamers. It was someone who, to this day, has been nothing but nice to him. He would say horrible things about this person, like about them in their stream, and it was very hard to listen to. And just in general, he would say horrible things about other streamers in Austin, like, I quote, "I hate everyone here. You are all useless to me. You're worthless to me because it does nothing for my stream anymore to collab with any of you."
Oh.
And him saying that was the final straw for me. The day that he said that to me about other people was the first day that I
about Austin streamers?
for the first time started to ignore his calls and messages. And because of that, he even threatened to come to my house if I didn't answer. But I did end up calling him back, and I spoke to him, and I basically told him that I felt like I could finally see things for what they were. And he started panicking, and he was super apologetic, and he was saying he didn't want to lose me, which wasn't the first time that he like did something like that and was like, you know, basically begging me not to leave. But that was definitely the most extreme time. And again, like I said, I always had the hope that things would be cordial, or that, you know,
and she really tried.
We could be fine
you can
with
see
each other, so
she really tried to
and
like.
we agreed we were gonna talk about.
This entire thing was a showcase of trying, and another person just being a devil. That we just watched almost close to an hour of someone showcasing the most almost best things you can do being in a relationship as a person, and then the other person doing the antithesis. This is a textbook of if your relationship comes off like 5% of what she is explaining, you leave it. It is you miss the plot. It's okay. We make mistakes. Pick the wrong one. Try again. That's what that means.
All of that.
That means.
We talked about it about a week later, and instead of apologizing for anything, he basically told me that he realized he needed to go to Japan and LA to get his viewership back up, and he was,
of course,
basically too young to focus on friendships and relationships. And
he's opting out after all the bullshit.
It was I mean, despite everything, like I said, I still cared about him, so it was still hard. And I mean, it was like a mix of feelings, you know, like I was devastated, but I was also so relieved. But because of the past incidents during like other fights and times I would try to separate myself from him, past incidents during those times of him manipulating me into staying close with him and giving him more chances, sexually assaulting me, the abuse, and just him generally not being a very nice person. After that, I decided that the only solution and way for me to move forward, I made the hard decision, but I know now for sure the right one, was to finally completely cut contact with him.
Good call.
I knew it'd be very hard because our careers and our communities were so intertwined, but I knew that I had to do it and that there was no other choice. So,
yep.
I have not spoken to him since January of this year. It's been 10 months. But, you think that's the end? It is, unfortunately not. I haven't spoken to him since January of this year. It only took a couple of weeks, but soon the messages started. He has attempted to contact me over 40 times individually this year in individual texts, Discord messages, Instagram DMs, and phone calls. And I'm just gonna show those.
40 times.
And at first, it started simple. Be confusing messages or like him expressing he was worried about things. Like, at first it wasn't anything weird.
It's just that you can go through and read all these yourself, but it's just... bro's got issues.
I'm going to do a little bit of a skip because I just don't want to watch the entire thing, right? We kind of got the gist of it. Actually, I'll probably end it off here. I'd rather you guys go watch it in its full context than just to go watch the entire thing on my side. I just kind of wanted to give my tidbits on the situation. And, you know, trust me, you know me, long diatribe king, kept to myself really well on this one because I just wanted her to really speak her piece. I want to spread this as far as we can. She's obviously a lot larger than me. I'm going to get like, I don't know, however many views, hopefully or not, because it spreads the word. But this, ladies first, this 1% of this, no. The first thing the guy does that is anything close to what this freak does, leave. Leave. You find S-Fan, you find an S-Fan, because S-Fan, I've only seen this guy hit. I'm assuming his name is S-Fan, he's Persian. His family might be from Esfahan. That's a place in Iran, right? So that's just, you know, this guy's a good dude. Just I've only heard people talk good about this guy. Like he's only came off like this holier than thou, justifiably so kind of thing, you know, individual, and he's kept up, right? And usually people like that also went through some shit when they were growing up, a lot of it. But instead of internalizing it to destroy others, they allow it to let them grow and realize I don't want no one else to feel this way that I felt, that I experienced this. So I'm going to go above and beyond to help people so they don't. Those are the two different peoples you get in life. The ones that use their traumas to hurt or they use it to heal. S-Fan is the healer. Mizkif is the herder. Very clear and concise. If you want to use an example, two individuals. Asmongold is the healer. He's even better. He will stay in the background too. You know, that's to the point where I think he left OTK because of that guy. If you guys don't remember where Mizkif got kicked out of OTK or kicked out, he left or something like that, this was probably it. This was probably what happened. We just never knew. We're like, why doesn't he run that shit? I thought he was like the owner or he started it. And then he gets kicked out. How does that happen? Everyone was scratching their heads. It's because of this shit. All of it was because of this shit. Every time we saw Emmy and she was on, I always say Emmy. I don't know her personally. I'm saying I say Emiru every time. That's fuck that. Every time we saw Emmy go on stream with this dude, he would be all like, "Yeah, man. So like, you know, I'm the shit, bro. Like, I'm fucking cool, man. Like, honestly, bro. Like, you know, when you really think about things like this, bro." And he does talk like that. He goes, "Yeah, man. You know, bro. So it's like, you know, it is what it is, man. You know what I'm talking about, bro." And then you just hear like, "Yeah, okay, yeah." And I swear there's been inklings too where he'll be like, "Yo, why are you so down? Just puff up for the stream and shit." And that is like a code for, "Yo, bitch, I'm gonna fucking slap the shit out if you don't act." Like, I know that sounds crazy, but I have to say it like that because that's what goes on. That's what they do. What do you think fear is? You think fear is, "I need you to know, bro." The man's like putting his fucking hand out. Just like with a dog, a child, when they flinch and shit, when someone flinches, someone's probably beating them back in the days where they really got used to having to dodge. Everything goes back to childhood trauma. I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying when you start there, you can get an idea and draw a line, right? To kind of see where that person got there, just so you can better contextualize the situation. And then also, as I said, you don't want to dehumanize people. When you dehumanize people, then you start becoming lack there of a human yourself, right? But that's why I tied him towards some sort of trauma. But this guy is a demon. This guy, may God heal him. He needs God. No, some people are not of faith. If you are, God bless you. It looks like a cross on her neck. I don't know. Maybe it's a star, but assuming it's a cross on her neck, she is Christian. She may not come out and say it, right? But she's Christian, I'm assuming, right? You correct me if I'm wrong. That looks like a cross. If that is the case, that was a lesson for you. That was a lesson. God sends you lessons. Sometimes you need it. You know why? Because she is a loving person to a fault. Those people almost always will get crushed by an evil person. Always. Because that evil person needs the most help and you are a healer. She is the healing class. She's the healing class. If this is an RPG, she's Mercy and that nigga is a tank basically. That's why he got mad. He's a tank. Right? Heal me, heal me, heal me, heal me. But he doesn't protect her. He's the Reinhardt that doesn't throw up the shield, but he wants to get healed because he's too busy wanting to swing the hammer. Look at that analogy. That's him. That's him. So when you are Mercy, just like in Overwatch, you have to know who to heal. Sometimes you see someone, they're just a shitty person at the game. They suck. They're better off in the game dying because they're not adding to the team. Mercies usually jump to the person getting a lot of kills, doing a lot of work, and staying alive themselves, in a sense, just so they could turn them into a superpower, right? If you played Overwatch, you know what I'm talking about. So at the end of the day, even using gaming as a reference, even within that context, this guy didn't want her to beat a tank. He didn't want her to heal. It is just so crazy. So I'm just going to end that off there. You guys saw this. You watched her video. I'm assuming, or you're watching it through me. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. I'm either going to do a follow-up video right now on the stream, or I'm going to go to the gym, come back, whatever the case is. But he did respond. I clipped it on X, so we're going to look into that. And then whatever else may come out. So I'll post this out in its entirety, just so you can get the context, do a little bit of cut splicing, of course. But yeah, take it easy, guys. This is Emmy. Take your time to heal. I know you don't know me, but we're sending healing energies. We're all right. Almost like 99% of men who see this are sending you healing energy because we as men, ladies, believe it or not, the majority of us don't fuck with this shit. We would jump in and beat the shit out of the person in a heartbeat if we were there in the moment. That's why we say something. That's why we say something. We can't do anything. You don't say something. Can't do anything if you don't say something. Want you to be safe. So please say something.